Welcome to the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. I won't be on live today because, well, I have things I have to take care of. It's hump day. It's the 15th of January, 2014. How y'all doing today? You awesome? Cool. It's hump day. Anyway, today I'm going to go into a different direction. And as I did before, I was just out a little while ago, taking my better half to work, and I'm going to mention this. I am thoroughly convinced that most people on the road today, driving on your city streets in your area, do not know how to drive at all, ever, never have. I'm thoroughly convinced of that. Here's why I say this. Okay, here's why I say this. Okay. You've driven down the road, you're going to get in the left-hand lane, you're moving into the left-hand lane. Somebody from the cross street makes a left turn and cuts off your lane. Well, some people would say, no big deal, I didn't hit him, there was no problem, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let me give you this 90-degree principle. Now, don't give me any more crap. I don't want to hear it. Well, if there's nobody here to turn lane, then what's the problem? I don't want to hear it. 90-degree principle. Now, of course, if on the opposite side of where you're at, somebody's making a left-hand turn as well, and you can't make that 90-degree turn, you have to make a little shallower turn, it's completely understandable. Be safe. Okay. But I am thoroughly convinced that most people on the road today do not know how to drive. Considering that within the last 10 years, or I would even say ever since cell phones had texting ability, there have been numerous accidents because people are, too concerned about who's texting them and who's calling them than they are about keeping their eyes on the damn road so they can keep themselves and other people safe. Yeah, that's my little rant for today. Keep your eyes on the road, your hands off your phone. That's just the way it is. Now, this person that almost, that cut me off wasn't on the phone. I looked right at this woman driving, and no disparaging remarks against women drivers. I think they're better than men drivers, but, not this case. Not today. So, anyway, that's my rant for today. Keep your damn hands off your cell phone. As a matter of fact, just keep it home. Your calls are not that important. You have voicemail. Your texts are not that important. You'll get them eventually. So anyway, keep your hands off your phone, your eyes on the road, because, I want to be able to go home at night. What about you? I'm just saying. Anyway, on today's show, yes, it's going to be an abbreviated show today. On today's show, we've got, I've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. Like I said, I'm going to go in a different direction. I'm going to take it into another area that I don't usually talk about on the Views Express Live, but, and this show here, I talk about pretty much anything other than that, and give you a preview of what's coming up on the Views Express Live. Yes, I will be live today at 4 p.m. Pacific and 7 p.m. Eastern. And yes, I will be live. It will be. Then afterwards, you can hear Bob Brutus on wakingupthemasses.com. Anyway, on Waking Up the Masses. You can go over to wakingupthemasses.com, say hello to Bob, tell him I told you hi, and that I sent you, and go from there. Hey, after the break, we'll come back and or I'll come back, and hopefully you'll still be here, and we'll talk more. Okay, see you in a bit.
Misfit is a misfit.
Samo.
Ignorant of hygiene, destructive, disorderly, and totally disrespectful.
It's the 5:15 with Samo on Samo Radio.
AM 1700 Daytona Beach, Holly Hill.
And SouthNet 1.
All aboard! Train. It's gonna love you. Take the last train to Boston. See them rolling run.
He's leaving on that midnight train to Georgia.
Leaving on the midnight.
Sarasota's home for R&B and soul. The Razor Blade Express with Dave the Rave.
Welcome back on this 15th day of January 2014. You are listening to the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I am your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. Yes, going in a totally different direction today. If you heard the first 5 minutes, I am thoroughly convinced that most people on the road cannot drive. I'm just go listen to the first 5 minutes of the show, folks. But anyway, the other thing I want to talk about is I've seen posts on Facebook where people are bashing Sarah Palin and Michelle Bachmann and of course, the one and only Hillary Clinton. Excuse me, I had to take some water. There we go. So anyway, the nose thing going on there. So anyway, I don't like Hillary Clinton, never have, never will. But I don't bash her because Grandma taught me better. If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. So the post that I saw today on Facebook, and I've seen them elsewhere similar to this, it basically said, some of the posts that I saw said that Sarah Palin's an idiot and Michelle Bachmann's a douche, and all this, that, and the other thing. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to make my point in the next, 8 minutes or so. And I'm going to say this. Excuse me. Here is something that I get a little bent out of shape about, okay? Just a little, just a tad, just a tiny bit, all right? I get a little bent out of shape. Nobody knows. I don't care what you've heard. I don't care how you feel. It doesn't matter to me. But if someone, and I'll put myself in this example for illustration purposes, if somebody doesn't know anything about me but bashes me and talks about me to other people, I would think that the other people would have the responsibility and the courtesy to come to me and tell me what's going on so that way I can set the record straight. Okay? That's me. I've done that all my life. I've confronted people who badmouth me to other people and went from there. But here's the thing, and it's laughable, really, because I'm sure that Sarah Palin is a really fine person. She's probably really good with her family, all that. And I'm sure the same thing with Michelle Bachmann and all of this, except for Hillary Clinton. She wants to rule the world. But the thing is that nobody knows. I've heard enough. No, you haven't. Is enough all? Or is enough for you just enough for you to bitch about other people? No. Here's the bottom line. Putting me in this example for illustration purposes. If you don't know anything about me, you have no right to say anything about me. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Just laying it out there on the table. If you don't know anything about me, you don't have a right to say anything about me. And here's what I've done in the past. I've confronted people after 2 or 3 people came to me and go, this person said this. I would go and confront that person. And I would say, I heard a few things. You've been talking about me. Why? What? Tell me. I'm not going to be offended. Tell me. And they would talk to me. And I'd say, well, why didn't you just come to me? Well, I don't know. You didn't know how I was going to take it, and you didn't know how to approach it. And they just look at me like, oh my God, he knows what's in my head. Yes, I do. Okay. The thing is that you don't know anything about Sarah Palin. You don't know anything about Michelle Bachmann. You probably know more than you need to about Hillary Clinton. But shut your mouth. Because you have no right to say anything about them if you don't know anything about them. Now, I'm not sticking up for Sarah Palin or Michelle Bachmann, and definitely not sticking up for Hillary Clinton. But I don't have to. Because in the general sense of courtesy, in the general principles of courtesy, if you don't know anything about anything, don't say anything. Hello? Makes sense to me. But somebody's going to argue with me and say, well, I have a right to say anything I want, even if I don't know anything about it. Yes, and that's the most stupidest thing you ever said. Okay. I have a right. I know enough. I talk about people, a lot, and I point out their flaws. And I encourage people to, examine their own flaws. And I show people's flaws, and hopefully it makes them think, and hopefully it makes other people think about other people, how that works. But I don't sit there and bash them and call them names. I do call them idiots because some of them are. Because let me clear up why I say all of that. And it's really this. They're unaware. That's all it is. They're unaware. They don't know what's going on, and frankly, in their heart of hearts, they really don't care. But I do. And I care about people, and I care about how they feel, and I care about what goes on and how they can function, because the more that you bash people, talk about them, push them away, suppress them, the more that you try to hold them down, the less control you have. Now think about that for a moment. Try to wrap your mind around that one. You can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. And you can ask me anything you want. I will tell you anything you need to know, and I will tell you, if I don't know something, I will tell you I don't know. Okay? I mean, that's just the way it is. Now, again, getting back to this whole issue of these posts that I keep seeing about people bashing Michelle Bachmann and Sarah Palin and Elizabeth Warren. I saw a few of those, and any politician, really. Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, any politician. I'll bash fascists all day long. I'll bash communists all day long. Why? Because they're idiots, and they don't really care. Okay? But the thing is that the individual has a problem. The individual who sits there, bashes Sarah Palin, Michelle Bachmann, Ted Cruz, all of them, et al., they have a problem. And what that problem is that they don't know how to get anything done correctly and efficiently. They don't. I mean, examine how they bash everybody. And this brings me to this. Okay, you're going to bash these people? All right, you go ahead. Go ahead. Spend the next 10 minutes bashing everybody under the sun that you can think of. Let me ask you this. Can you do better? Can you take what they know? Can you do what they do? Can you do it better? If you can't, shut your big damn pie hole. You don't have a right to say anything to anybody about anything. That's just the bottom line. I have spent my life, and still I'm learning something new every day. I have spent my life defending myself and explaining why I feel the way that I do. You know why? because of other people's preconceived ideas of what they think about me, which are totally 100% and utterly wrong. That's my point. You have a preconceived idea about Sarah Palin. You have a preconceived idea about Michelle Bachmann, Ted Cruz, Rand Paul. All of them. I, on the other hand, investigate and research. I look at everything they say. I just don't take a little blurb, a one sentence, one paragraph, whatever, and say, well, I don't do that. You do, I'm sure, but I don't. Because I put everything in context. And I assess that content. And I judge for myself how I should respond. Now, a lot of people have looked at me and said, well, how come you say this about this person? How come you say that about that person? But then you defend this person over here who's totally wrong. Well, who says I'm defending someone who's wrong? I'm pointing out their flaws for other people to see. Okay? So, to end this little segment in the next 4.5 minutes, I will say this. And I'm going to make it very simple for people to wrap their mind around and comprehend. It's real simple, and it's this. And it's not going to take me 3 minutes to do it. If you cannot say anything nice about someone, don't say anything at all. And one more thing. If you don't know anything about anything, don't say anything. Makes sense to me. How about you? Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. And hey, a little bit early, but I'll be back right after this. Welcome back. How you doing? It's the 15th of January, 2014, and I am here. Yes, I am. I am here. It is me, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce, for the Wayne S. Pierce Show. It's not someone else pretending to be me. It is me. I don't know why I said that. It's hump day. I'm being hilarious today, I hope. But anyway, in this segment, I'm going to talk about a little something that has been an irritant to me for quite some time, other than people saying things that they know nothing about and stupid, idiotic drivers on your city streets. You can go check out the first 5 minutes in my last segment as well for both of those and what my feelings are on those. This segment, I want to talk about this whole issue of what is this? I don't know how to put this, because if I put it the way that I want to put it, that's in my head, oh my God, you people would just go ballistic. Okay, so I'm going to say this. We have people out there who don't like Chris Christie. Well, neither do I. He lied. He messed up. And now he's trying to backtrack, but still putting his foot in the mud. You know what I'm saying? Then you have people like the former mayor of New York City, Michael Bloomberg, who wants to take your guns away no matter what. So he's going to push that, now that he's no longer mayor, he's going to push that all over the United States. Now you have the new New York City mayor, Bill de Blasio, who's a total and absolute communist. Don't even go there with me. He is. Just look at all of his policies, look at what he wants to do, but more important, listen to how he says it, because how he says it is important. Because if you look back in history, all your communists that took over cities or countries or whatever basically spoke in the same manner. So you gotta check that out as well. But I really didn't want to get into that. But I wanted to mention that because that's coming up on the Views Express today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So the other thing I want to talk about in this segment is the fact that here we are. We're looking at this whole issue of the 2016 presidential election, right? We're looking at this, right? I mean, we're examining everybody, looking at all of it, examining who's there, blah, blah, blah. What about 2014 midterm elections? Because if we don't cut the head off the snake right now, we're done come 2016. Okay? So we have to look at everything that's going on politically. We have to look at not only our domestic policies, but the policies that this current communist administration and regime has overseas. And then we have to examine what those leaders over there are saying about us. Why? I would think that their views are more important than your stupid football games. I would think that their views are more important than your stupid reality shows. I would think that those views that other countries have about the United States of America and you specifically are more important than your, whatever. Although I could be wrong. I know I'm not, but I could be. So we have to look at that. We have to examine where we are as a country. We have to examine our heart. We have to examine our soul. We have to examine how we see each other. Because at some point, sooner than later, I would believe, we're all going to have to come together regardless of what we, regardless of our color, of our religion, and whatever. And we're going to have to take back America from the communists that are in the White House right now. And we're going to have to take back this country. We're going to have to take it away from the pissants that are sitting up there in Washington, D.C. We're going to have to defend our liberties and freedoms against the Muslim Brotherhood that currently reside in the White House in very prominent positions. We're going to have to do that. Now, a lot of people would say, well, what's the problem? Country's running really well. No, you're a communist. Get the hell out of my country. I stand with the former military and current military and the former law enforcement and current law enforcement. Over 70% of them say that they are not going to take the guns away from the American people and that they will defend this country against the tyranny out of Washington, D.C. I stand with them. I stand with the colonel who says that they're going to go to Washington, D.C. unarmed. He's hoping for millions of people to go unarmed to Washington, D.C. on May 16th and protest. I'll even go one better than that. I challenge each and every single one of you right now. This is a podcast. You can put it on pause. You can stop it, come back and pick it up here in a minute. But I challenge each and every single one of you in each and every single one of the states of the United States of America to go to your capitals, or if you live there in your capital of your state, to get a bunch of people together in their cars with signs, go around your Capitol building and honk your horns for as long as you freaking can. The story is, the army, many, many years ago, walked around Jericho 7 times blaring their horns, and the walls of Jericho fell. How would you think this would turn out if you gathered a whole bunch of people together and had them either walking around the state capitol or driving around the state capitol or both for hours and days on end? How would you think that would turn out? If everybody in every state in the United States did that in their state capitals. I don't care if you got to drive 100 miles to do it. What would they do? They couldn't arrest all of you all at once. It's called peacefully protesting, civil disobedience. And if they can't handle that, if your politicians in your state or your city council or your county board of supervisors can't handle that, they're not worth being in that office. And you need to make sure that in the midterm elections they are voted out. Oh, that's the other thing. I'll get into that a little bit here, and that is when you look at every single thing that you do as far as voting, why is it that your sample ballot talks about the pros and cons, and talks about the what person says is good about this proposition and what person says is bad about the proposition? Why is it it's worded in such a way to where it confuses you? It's called psychological operations, or PSYOPs. Go look it up. That's what it is. Okay? I don't know what else to tell you about that unless you want to do your own homework and find out what that is. The military-industrial complex, with all of its very, very smart psychologists, learned how to do that many, many years ago. Now, here we are in 2014, still dealing with the lies coming out of Washington, D.C., and we the people, mind you, still haven't gotten up enough guts to go there and to stop this bull crap from happening. So I stand behind anybody, including this colonel, who is wanting to go to Washington, D.C. with millions of people to kick out the current residents. And I'm talking not just the president and vice president. I'm talking about the Speaker of the House, the Senate majority and minority leaders, the Attorney General. They want to imprison them because of breaking the laws of the Constitution of the United States of America. But remember, folks, the Constitution of the United States of America prior to 1871 is what we should stand on, not the corporation of the United States. Patrick Henningsen over at 21stCenturyWire.com talks about that. Let's go look it up. Look up Corporation of the United States. Startpage.com, xquick.com. Go check it out. And while you're doing that, take the next few minutes on a break. And, when I come back, we'll get into something else. Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, I always like to take the break at the bottom of the hour. That way, hey, take a little break, just a little something, step away, get a little water, get a little something. You know what I mean. Speaking of water, hang on just a sec. Had to take some there. But anyway, so what do we do? We have a bunch of people that are on one side of this whole issue of, well, immigration. How can I put this? Immigration. Let me point something out to you. Comprehensive immigration reform. Do you know what that is? All that is with those people, with those types of politicians that are pushing for comprehensive immigration reform on both sides of the aisle. You know what that is? Open the borders and let them all in. That's what that is. Has nothing to do with legalizing legalizing any of them. Has open the borders, let them all in. Okay? I was at a local fast food joint here in Reno, Nevada one day, and I noticed that there's a sign up on the wall that was right next to the cashier, and I looked at and I was waiting for my food, and I was reading that sign, and I thought, what? Wait a minute, hold on here. So I read the sign again, and I couldn't believe it. It basically and I need to challenge all of you. If you see a sign in your local establishments of food, where you go and eat your favorite fast food, if you see a sign that says anything that resembles what I'm about to say, I want you to take a picture of it and send it to freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. The gist of what was on the sign, because I don't remember it verbatim, but the gist of it was the company does not care whether you're legal citizen or not. They're going to hire you. Okay, so comprehensive immigration reform really is open borders. Okay, open borders. It's just open borders, let everybody in. Now here, I've heard this argument. And it is, who says that they're illegal when in fact they were here before us, along with the American Indians that were here before? Who says they're illegal? Well, there was this establishment. I'm not going to say establishment because I don't have the information in front of me. So do your homework. Go to startpage.com, put in borders. How did the borders come about? How were the borders established? However you want to create that phrase in your head. How was the borders established? Why are there borders? Blah, blah, blah. However you want to put that in a search engine, you go and do that. But it was basically the federal government of the United States of America back, long time when they were establishing the states, that they've determined, okay, here's the border. And so comprehensive immigration reform says there should be no borders. There should be no borders, Canada, Mexico, whatever. Oh, hang on to your horses, folks, because I'm going to make blood spurt out of your eyes here in a minute. To me and to others who are patriotic to America and want to see liberty and freedom and security in this nation, says there should be absolutely no comprehensive immigration reform. There should be opportunities for people. Yes, totally agree with that. I totally believe in that. But anybody, I don't care what country you're coming from, should do it legally. Several months ago, there was a little rally going on downtown here in Reno, and it was for, immigration reform. And there was probably, I would say, about 100 people. I don't know what that was. There was about 100 people out there. And I thought to myself, well, that's weird. Okay. And I saw a post on Facebook and also in the local paper here. And so I went down there. We went down there, and there was a big rally. There was, like I said, there was about 100 people, and they were holding signs and stuff like that. And there was one woman who had a video camera, and she was walking around videotaping her friends there. She was Mexican, of course, it was Mexican immigration, and they were rallying for support, for immigration reform, blah, 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 right? So she was there with her video camera, and myself and Diana were walking down through where they were, and we were, shaking hands and stuff. And this woman with the video camera looked at me and says, thank you for being here. What's your view on this? And I said, I am for legal immigration. Immediately, she took down the camera. Immediately, she said, well, thank you, and walked away. And I've seen other views of other people reading the articles and stuff like that, and I found out that nobody wants, here in America, you and I, we don't want comprehensive immigration reform. We want legal immigration, which means stand in line like everybody else. But I found out, and I read different articles in different, areas, found different posts in other forums and stuff that literally said that the Mexicans that come here that fight for immigration reform are backed by major political outfits who are backed by or who promote politicians in America who want complete and open borders. Okay? Complete and open borders. That's what they want. And they want to come here freely, get jobs, take everything. They want everything free, handed to them. Most of them do, about 60% of them. That's one of the figures I saw. The rest of them want to work, want to do what's right and all that. That's fine. High five to them. Kick the other ones out. Okay? Now, that 60% number is a little bit high from other things that I've seen. But on average, it's about that. They just want to come here and take whatever they want. They don't care. They don't care about working. They just want to get free stuff from the government. Like I said, that 60% number is a little bit high with other figures that I've seen. But on average, it's about that. The rest of them want to come here and work and build a life and do the right thing. That's fine. I shake their hand. I give them high fives. There you go. Do what you have to do. Right? Here's the clincher, folks. You want more blood to spurt out of your eyes? Because here's a clincher, folks. Did you know that there is a constitution-free zone? In other words, your rights don't matter. 100 miles into the United States, all around the United States. Go look that up. Startpage.com. Put in constitution-free zones and hit image. Go up there to the top, just top left and hit image. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay? So not only does comprehensive immigration reform mean open borders, it also says, come on in, take what you want to the Mexicans, to, all that. Considering the fact that our own government, through Fast and Furious and other programs, are sending guns to the Mexican cartels to protect their drugs that we send them as well to get them into the United States. Okay, we have to protect our investment is what Washington, D.C. says. Not in so many words, but when you hear them, that's basically, what it is. Now, there's also a constitution-free zone 100 miles off of the border into America. Oh, let me slam you with more reality. In Mexico, they teach their children in school. Find this out on your own. I did. They teach their children in school that the southwest of the United States, Atzland is what they want to call it, is theirs and they have to take it over. Okay? They have to take it back. What's my stance on comprehensive immigration reform? I already told you. Do it legally. You jump over the border, you dig under the border, those elaborate tunnels under the border. We're going to blow you straight back into Mexico if you think you're going to get over here illegally. Okay? Do it legally. Do it the right way. If not, we're going to pack your ass up and send you back. And that goes with anybody else coming from any other country. Okay? Because it's already been proven, and it is on record, that Saudis and the Muslim Brotherhood and all these, rebels over there have come into Mexico through their little, through drug cartels or whatever, and have shaved their beards off, whatever, and they look like everyday Mexicans. I don't have anything against the hard-working, God-fearing Mexicans that are down there that want to come here legally. I have nothing against them. I will shake their hand and buy them a beer. But the ones that want to come over here and just take everything, no. We kicked Santa Anna's ass and we shoved them back over the border. We'll do it again. We are a very resilient group of people, and we don't like people coming and taking what we have. The Indians, I know I have a great deal of respect for all of my American Indian friends. They can tell you, when you're outnumbered, you ain't getting crap. Okay? And you can go back in history and look at all of that. Where do I stand? I'll tell you before I go to break. Here's where I stand. You want to come to this country, I don't care if you're from Saudi Arabia, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever country you're coming from, you do it legally. You want to do it illegally, you ain't getting past the border. And if you do get past the border, you're going to run into a lot of people that don't like you, including your own kind. I've heard and read articles from interviews that legal residents here who became American citizens from Mexico have said that they are embarrassed that of their own people who come here illegally, that they don't like the fact that they're coming here illegally, that they're not standing in line with everybody else. So even your own people are pissed off at you. So take that one. You want to come here legally, you do it. You do it, you go the right way, you do the right thing. You want to come here illegally, you ain't getting past the border. And there's hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of Americans that will make sure you don't get past that border. But then I'll go to break. Go look up the establishment of the borders, who established it, why, all of that. Send that information to me because I will be looking it up myself. But send that information to me and your little, what you want to say about it to freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. I'll be back right after this. Welcome. Hey, we're back. It's the 15th of January, 2014. You're listening to the Wayne S. Pierce Show. Hi, I'm him. How you doing? It's hump day. Now, I get a little passionate about things that I believe in. First of all, if you heard the first 5 minutes of the show, I ranted a little bit about drivers that can't drive, people that just absolutely don't really care. And then I talked about something else, and then I talked about something else. So, because I can't remember what it was. I know the last segment I talked about a comprehensive immigration reform. So here's the thing. In my last segment, I'm gonna play nice. Okay, I'm gonna play nice. Now, things are changing for the Free America Radio Network, and as these changes take place, things are gonna look a little different. Okay, and things are gonna be presented a little bit differently. So around the 1st of February, maybe the middle of February, depending on how much I can get done right now, in the next couple of weeks. But things are going to look a bit different for the website, freeamericaradio.us. Things are going to look a little bit different. Now, on that website, freeamericaradio.us, there's a sponsors page. Now, right now, you can get in on the ground floor. I'm talking ground floor, basement. We're putting in the cement floor, I'm talking ground floor. Now, if you want to sponsor the show, if you like what I'm talking about, if you want to hear more, if you, want to do that and sponsor the show every month, awesome, great, fantastic, thumbs up. If you want to donate, you can do the same thing. Just donate. There you go. Or there's a store there on the website, freeamericaradio.us. And you can go to the store, promote your patriotism. Excuse me. Promote your patriotism by buying merchandise. And all that stuff does is help out the network, Free America Radio Network. I don't get any of that. I'm just telling you, I don't get one freaking dime of that. Why? Because it's all poured back into the network. Okay? I don't get paid doing this. Zip, zero, zilch, nada. I do it because I like to do it, and I like to, give you the information that I have. And I hope that I encourage you enough to go out and look it up yourself and determine for yourself what to believe. I mean, you hear me, you think I'm, crazier than a loon and need to be in a, nut farm somewhere, probably. Or that I got a tinfoil hat on waiting for the aliens to come in. That kind of thing. And you know what? You're wrong, but that's okay. You have, you have the right to think that. You're wrong, but, what the heck. But anyway, if you want to listen to more and hopefully be educated and hopefully be encouraged and hopefully enjoy, what I say and want to learn, great, wonderful. Thank you for your support. Appreciate that very much. And if you don't like anything that I say and what I'm doing and any of that, why are you listening? I'm just curious. Why are you listening? Because obviously you don't like what I say. So bye-bye. Have a nice day. See you later. Go away now. Bye-bye. I won't even see you later because you're not going to be back. Bye-bye. Go away now. Go stick your head in the sand. I mean, why not? But anyway, hey. I said a couple of weeks ago that 2014 was going to be a little different, and I'm not going to hold anything back. It's a no-holds-barred show, folks. I'm not going to hold anything back. If I read you an article and read you a comment and stuff like that, I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm not going to hold anything back. I'm going to give you what I know, and I'm going to give you my opinion on what I know. Whether you agree with me or disagree with me, that's completely up to you. I'm just going to put it out there for you to know what it is. Now, said all that to get to this. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Nick Tucker over at Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook and distortedreality.podbean.com. So I want to give a big shout out to Nick Tucker and also Bob Brutus over at wakingupthemasses.com with his show Kicking the Capstone and also Waking Up the Masses. And you really have to listen to that show. I encourage you to go listen. wakingupthemasses.com. Check out the podcasts. Sometimes there's a live show as well, so you can check out the live broadcast as well. It's amazing. I learn something new every time I listen. So, Bob Brutus, wakingupthemasses.com. Also want to give a shout out to a bunch of other people. Christopher John Taylor over at HTLA973.com. Go check out his shows. Yes, there's more than one on that network. HTLA973.com. And, yeah, tell him I sent you. Anyway, what can I talk about in the next 13 minutes or 12 and a half minutes? Here in Reno, Nevada, here we have, in the area, in the Reno-Sparks, Carson City area, Carson City being our state capital, we have 10, count them, 10 Walmarts. First of all, no area needs any more than 3. Okay, I'm sorry. You don't. That's just the way it is. But the purveyors of intelligence, the purveyors with the intelligence, apparently, in the city council have agreed to allow Walmart to build one more right next to a Target. Well, not next to it, but probably about a few hundred yards away. And it's the stupidest thing I have ever heard. I read this thing on Facebook from our local newspaper, and the comments, not only in the newspaper, you know, from their site, but also on the Facebook comments. And I got to tell you, people are not liking it one freaking bit. And I'm sure people are going to go to Walmart out there. I'm sure. I'm sure. Okay, because they have a Walmart distribution center not far from here. So obviously, we're going to get hit first with all the stuff. But anyway, all the Chinese-made crap. But anyway, people are going to protest, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure while it's being built, people are going to be out there protesting. I encourage it. Go out and protest. Go out to the city council meetings and say, we don't need this. You need to stop the construction now. You need to force them to stop construction now. Because out near where they're going to build a Walmart, they just now are going to open. It's already finished, having been built. But it's an IMAX 3D theater, movie theater. They just built it. So right next to it, maybe down the road a little bit, is going to be a Walmart. Let me ask you a question. Are you against shopping local? Because here in Reno, Nevada, we have on this side of the continent, we have Raley's, we have Scolari's, we have Winco, we have Trader Joe's, we have World Market. We have all these stores, and they're local, except for, but they're local here, even though some of them are regional chains. But the thing is that when you shop at Walmart, you're supporting China. What? Yeah, you're supporting China. There's no way around pointing that out. There's no. You're supporting China. Guess what China's doing? China is buying up major portions of land to build their own cities on American soil. Go look up Milan, Michigan. Go look up China builds cities in America. Go look that up, startpage.com. You ask me, what's so bad about shopping local? Okay? Seriously. They're high, and I'd rather get a better deal at Walmart. You're supporting China. Oh, and by the way, here's what else you're doing. You're supporting China's takeover of the United States of America. What? Yeah, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're supporting China's takeover of the United States of America. Economically, mind you, but hey, it wouldn't be too long before they literally came in with their Chinese army and took everybody over, huh? At least that's what the United Nations wants. Because now there's Chinese troops in America for disaster relief training. Yeah, they landed just a couple of months ago, landed in Hawaii. Now they're over in California. Now they're up in Oregon. Now they're all over the United States with other UN forces. So, folks, you need to wake up. You need to wake up to the reality that this is not the United States of America anymore. This is the North American Union. And we're being taken over by foreign people, foreign countries. Okay? That's the way the bankers want it. That's the way these foreign interests want it. Because they don't like you in your freedom. They don't like you in your liberty. They don't like you in your security. They want to own every piece of you that they can get their hands on, including your land, your house, your crops, your dog, your cat, everything. So if you think I'm wrong, Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. Hey, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go away. I'll be back today on the Views Express live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here. You can catch this show on Spreaker.com and also freeamericaradio.us. And, come check it out, folks. I'll tell you even more. So, in the meantime, take this with you. You are who you are. Nobody else can tell you differently. Talk to you later.